Yeah, I mean, it's the only logical answer, and it's definitely incredible what's going on. You know, and you know they have when the Hunter Biden emails came out, and all these corporations are censoring them. The media is censoring it. Nobody knows about it, and then maybe Fox News is the only one who reported it, and so they verified these things. Uh, and that's just one example. All these crazy things are happening. And then is there do you know is there any connection with Joe Biden and the child pedophilia besides the corruption?
Well, yeah, he's on these tape transcripts where they talk about the big guy. He is the big guy being discussed for millions and millions of dollars from the Chinese Communist Party to Joe Biden. He's accepted these bribes, blackmails, and is totally controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, just like his son, just like all the major Democrats, and a few of those Republicans too. It's not a good guy Republicans, bad guy Democrats. Nothing is that black and white and simple. It's a two-party corrupt system that has to go, and hopefully, along with everything else, we're realizing we have to totally revamp the political system and allow the smaller parties to play a role and overcome the two-party tyranny. That's another big one that I guess Trump's waiting for a second term to, implement.
Yep, and there's so much, and it's always the voter fraud, the all of these things. It seems like we're at the cusp. We're so close, like you're saying. Even they say even the Justice Department, uh, you know, declassifies these documents, and like you were saying earlier, with Trump doing the executive orders of tracking down these pedogate things. I mean, it's weird. It's the government saying, okay, there's pedophiles in the government, so let's attack them. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. So we're close. It's like you're saying, we're at the cusp of it. Apparently, they're saying that they're setting all these tribunals up. Apparently, they're saying all of these things are setting up. But like you said, we haven't seen the concrete evidence, and it's like we're not just there yet.
Yeah, yeah. They apparently have waited till after the next go around. Um, anyway, I think that the public is catching on. There's a percentage of us that are getting it every day, and this is the greatest opportunity that the people have in restoring, if it ever was there, the Constitution. There's arguments that we've always been under the thorn of the crown from the City of London crown that's related to the Queen, but not directly. It's basically the central banking system of the Rothschilds. And we've been under their thumb forever, and your birth certificate and all that. And, we're governed by by the laws of the waterways and not the land. And I don't know if you've done any research into that, but it's pretty eye-opening. And there's a lot of underground movement in that regard too. So yeah, there is so much happening now, and obviously the biggest is coming up on Tuesday. And uh, I just want Trump to win so we can get the momentum that's already here to sweep over and revolutionize everything that is so corrupt and evil that's had their way for so many centuries. We're so close. But the big thing is we got to get Trump elected again. And so I really am encouraging everybody to go out and vote. And we know already that the Democrats have a strategy of doing all the mail-ins, and there's so much fraud surrounding that. it's already been exposed, and they're banking on having it be drawn out for months and months, and of course having all the George Soros revolutionary chaos with the Antifa, rioting in all the major cities of America, and all of this. It's just so, plain to see that the evil forces are just, I think they're going through their death throes, actually, because they know that the light is shining on them. It's a beacon of truth that's exposing their darkness, their evil, their ugliness, and we're going to rat them out like they are cockroaches running for shade, for the darkness to hide under. But we're not going to let up, and we're going to get them. And yes, they will be rounded up. I believe it. I'm praying anyway.
Yeah, so it sounds like the newest development has been this Hunter Biden, Joe Biden pedo financial corruption thing that just happened recently, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess that's this year's October surprise.
Wow.
They waited. Pizzagate came out 4 years ago at this time.
Right.
And it was going real strong right at this time 4 years ago. And it probably did help Trump win in the fluke election because everybody had written him off. And the October surprise this year, I guess, is the Biden tapes. That's what I reckon.
Yeah. Huh. Well, all right, the Biden tapes. We're gonna see what's coming up here soon. Is there anything else you want to say, or what would you tell the viewers? What's most important?
Well, it's important, obviously, to spread the word of truth, and to because that's a huge part of it. It's just informing and educating the masses to wake up, and huge education, and then become activists. Because once you realize and accept the reality that there's been a handful of these power brokers on this earth that have pulled the strings of all the puppets that are the leaders, quote leaders, they're followers, basically. They're followers of their masters. That's what's been going on for a long time. And they're not human, a lot of them. They are less than human, DNA-wise, genetically-wise, scientifically-wise. They're not even human, fully anyway. And therefore, they don't have the capacity for empathy and understanding and putting yourself in other people's places and having a sensitivity that is about kindness and love and support and tolerance for other people's flaws and realizing that we're all imperfect human beings and we aren't to be manipulated deceptively, ignorantly by the divide and conquer rule that the masters of deception that are these evil forces that have been in control forever, we are not going to fall into that rut, which that's how they've controlled us all these centuries, all these millennia. Divide and conquer. They manipulate, they twist, all the education we've gotten, it's all bullshit. The history, the science, religion, it's all bullshit. Now, don't get me wrong, people that are religious, that are part of the monotheistic, belief of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, as well as Buddhism and all the rest of the religions. If it helps you be a better human being, a more compassionate, understanding, supportive human person, that's good. It's good. But I just want the history to come out, the truth, where it's been a basically a force for divide and conquer. Why do you think Jerusalem and Palestine are the apex crossroads of the three major religions where they have been fighting each other? Because it's a gross manipulation, and that's where all three of the religions started. So I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I believe in a spiritual higher power called the Creator, the prime creator of all living energy and non-living energy on this earth, on the solar system, on the galaxy and universes, the multiverses that are out there. There is a creator, and we have to, I myself have always felt a sense of connection to the creator, and been, I think, strive towards spirituality. But I've never bought into religion because to me it's too much dogma. I don't want a middleman interpreting the word of God. And I don't get me wrong. Jesus Christ was the Christ consciousness is a very positive, loving, wonderful energy and thought pattern. And there probably was this person named Jesus Christ that lived on this earth. I have a chapter, it's actually the very first chapter of the very first book, that goes back to the entire history of the human species, the Homo sapiens, and how we evolved from Homo erectus because we were created in a test tube by this alien civilization of the Anunnakis. And then how the Levite priests actually started this notion of basically Christianity, and starting from Judaism, and then out of the First Testament, which is Judaism, created the Christianity and all of that. But the records of Sumeria, or Sumer, which is in Mesopotamia, which is now Iraq, and that's why there's been so much horror around Iraq. They even let the ISIS, the U.S. created, CIA created proxy ally, the terrorists, they even let them destroy these ancient relics and sites, holy sites in Iraq that actually do go back to Samaria, and the Sumerian records tell all about the civilization that came in these spaceships, and they saw them as gods because they were like 13, 15 feet high, these people, these creatures, that were the Anunnakis, compared to the puny little humans, that are 5 feet or 6 feet at the most type thing. It's all in the first chapter of the first book, but that's how the humans were formed. The Sumerian records tell all of the origin that was then plagiarized by the Levite priests in Babylonia and Canaanites and all of this, and all of that, the deities of the Egyptian culture and the Babylonian culture, they emanated directly from Sumeria, which came just before them. And that's how Judaism evolved, that's how Christianity evolved, and eventually Islam as well, through the plagiarists of the Levite priests that wrote all of the early writings in the Bible. And so it's just rehash play, and I get into the specifics of it in that chapter. It's a rehash of controlled opposition through the creation of religions to, hate each other, blame each other, be brainwashed to distrust and kill each other. And the actual creatures that are in control that colonize the earth for the white powder of gold mining in Africa, all the archaeological testimony is there to to basically document the reality that this civilization used harmonics to be able to basically mine the gold from the earth. They have so many the stone circles in Africa, especially South Africa. There's so much evidence out there, and it's all basically in that first book now available. So that really takes us up to the very present, where we have this opportunity to really transform the earth and make it as God intended it, where we love each other and we do not have a usury debtors enslavement system. We need to allow people to reach their higher potential, where they have certain natural born aptitudes and abilities and talents, and what it's really all about is helping other people. That we psychologically and physiologically, we do ourselves good when we are helping other people, and in service to other people, humanity and all living energies, we are doing good for ourselves and others. Well, that's how God intended that humans live. And in this opportunity, this reset opportunity that is coming now into fruition, I believe that we will have the opportunity to not be enslaved by a bankrupted morally in every way system that creates debtor slaves, and we are always basically under the thumb of an evil force. And we have an opportunity to transform this earth and life on it like we've never known before. And the opportunity is here right now, folks. And we have to grasp it and make the most of what opportunity is falling into our laps. And so we spread the word, and we become activists. I believe in truth and reconciliation commissions, whereby we actually do get the information from those that are participating in this evil system. And because they give the truth to us as far as who's pulling their strings, we do not put them in jail, the lower level, but we actually do, for the sake of the children, isolate those in the high positions of this cabal system, this pedo cabal, and we isolate them and we strip them of all their resources, which thereby enhances the wealth of this earth a billion-fold, and we have the resources to transform our planet, to clean up the pollution that actually is killing so many species, and our oceans are dying. There's so much that they poison this earth and us, and so we get to clean it up. We have the resources, we have the technological, and we will have the financial resources. It's all available, and we just have to wake up and put pressure in a grassroots movement worldwide to put pressure on the transformation of this earth, so we transform the quality of life where we all can live in peace. We don't have to have war. The people of this earth never wanted war, but the puppet string masters have always engineered war. Well, it's time for us to just not do it anymore. We are awake, and we're coming after you, you evil ones that have been in control for over 250,000 years. And you're going to be locked up. Or, I'm not a proponent of the death penalty, but if it is decided that you are executed for the greater good of humanity, so be it. Okay, I guess that pretty much wraps up my little spiel today.